Hello, awesome people. I hope you're having an amazing day today. Today we're taking a look at the book The Captives of Kaag by Joe Dever. It is the 14th book in the Lone Wolf series that we've been doing a deep dive into. This stuff got started publishing in the mid-80s and got published up through the later 90s when it got stopped about well after 14, which is the second book in the third series of the Lone Wolf stuff that's happening. Proper. I picked it up in this version, in this paperback version from my local Walden Books in Southern West Virginia. I read it one time, and then I went I thought, like I said, this was a surprise series because the series felt like it had a nice ending at the end of book 12. But then you get another section of stuff, and this is like a best-selling game book series, right? And so it's definitely something that has a lot of value and has touched a lot of people's lives. Now this book has been republished and a hardback collector's edition version. I don't own that, but that is out there in case you want to try to find it on the secondary market, although it's pretty expensive because it just had one printing in order to keep the value of the collector's edition up pretty high. The collector's editions actually have bonus sections that you can adventure through and game through. This is a game book series. It's one of the best game book series of all time. And it was the first game book series to have just one central character and one central plot and one central thing that was happening from book to book to book. And each book basically tells one chapter in this overarching series. For example, in the first book, you'll be in ambush against the Kais that are all meeting up together for a holiday, and you are the only one who survives this ambush. So now you have to go tell the king that this has happened. So your first goal is to survive the ambush and then go tell the king what happened, right? So he'll be informed. Then in the second book, you were informed by the king that what happened, and now the king gives you the mission because there's no Kai left to lead the army. They're going to lose against the Dark Lords that have now attacked them out of nowhere and have ambushed them and are now sieging the capital, right? So he now needs you to go and get this sword called the Summer Sword and bring it from a nearby ally and bring it back. It's a very, very powerful artifact level sword in order to release the siege and win the battle, right? So the first book, the destruction of the Kai monastery and surviving it and getting to the capital directly leads to the second chapter, the fire on the water, right? And so on and so forth. And the first book tells, the first 5 books tell the Kai series as you're growing up in levels. And then the next one, the series ends at book 12, and that tells the Magna Kai series as you're adventuring at the next level of the order, and then so forth. And now we're at the next level. You've now discovered that there's actually a third level for you to advance it. Now each of these, so you're basically a psychic ranger that you are playing through these books. So, for example, you have some psychic abilities, like the ability to attack people mentally, called My Blast in the first books, and then later on it's given like Psy Blast and so forth. You have the ability to protect yourself mentally, Mind Shield. You have the ability to move things, Mind Over Matter. You have the ability to detect things with a sixth sense. You have the ability to fight, like weapon skill, track with tracking, hunting to find food, and also to launch ambushes. In later books, you have weapon skill to protect yourselves, and so forth, right? And animal control, healing. So you're sort of a psychic ranger, if you will. But you keep your skills, you keep your levels, you keep you'll gain a skill as you go up each level. You can start off with 5 of 10. And then with this series, you have 2 additional levels that are magical in nature. One is called Kai Alchemy, which I did start with, and the other one is called Magi Magic, which you have incorporated into the overall. As now you've set up the new Grand Order, and now in the first book of this series, The Plague of Lords of Ruel, which I just reviewed for you and posted for you. You start off by journeying to now you've defeated the big bad. They're now coalescing, and they now have like a death knell. They're going to try to launch a plague against everybody. So you have to go into this dark, nasty area and penetrate their stronghold, and then destroy it. In the second book, Captives of Kaag, which we're interviewing today, your best friend forever, Bannon, who you meet in book 1. You'll actually have an adventure with in book 5. You'll adventure together in the Cauldron of Fear, which in the Magna Kai series, and you regularly will start an adventure with him because he has a sky flying ship, or end an adventure because he'll come and rescue you. So now he has been captured in the previous Darkland that was used to be run by 2 of the Dark Lords called Kaag. And so now you got to go back and go to Kaag and penetrate Kaag and get into it. Now this is my second least favorite book in the series. It's not a whole lot of stuff that happens in it. Again, I keep my reviews spoiler free, so I'm only going to tell you the beginning of it, but there's not a lot of stuff that happens with it. It just feels like a dungeon delve, reversed, kind of like the second book in the next series. So both the second books I don't like that much, called Castle Death, which is just a dungeon delve into a castle. It doesn't have the epic feel to it, and so forth. But I definitely did like it. I think a lot of fun stuff happens from it. So there you are, The Captives of Kaag. This is also for free online on a website called Project Aeon, which I'll link you to in the comments below, so you don't have to spend any money on it. Now, as a 2000 millennial gift, Joe Dever gave the fans a free of all the things that he had written for the Lone Wolf series, and also some of his other stuff too. And then he got some of the other people to also donate. So you can read this book online for free if you don't want to spend any money on it, just like I did. And it took me about a little less than an hour and a half to knock it out, like an hour and 25 minutes or so for me to knock it out. For the next time, I go back to these and read them on Project Aeon every so often. It's nice to have a place where you don't have to worry about beating up a softcover book. So I always go back and reread a series. Although I still invest money in buying the occasional definitive collection or something like that from Magnum Press. But I'll link you to both this version for softcover, which will be expensive on the secondary market, as well as the free version on ProjectAeon.com. So there you are. I'll go ahead and leave you to it. Have you read The Captives of Kaag? Book 14. What did you think of it? If so, I'd be more than happy to engage you with it further in the comments below, whatever your thoughts are. If you enjoyed this video, hey, why not hit that subscribe button? There's going to be a lot more of these to follow. And then finally, I want to thank you so much for taking some time out of your day and investing it and watching my video. We all have so many things that are happening in our lives. We're pulled in so many different directions. So the fact that you spent this time with me is incredibly humbling, and I appreciate it. So thanks again, and have an amazing day.